On that note, a warm-up win for the Windies today ahead of the start of the 2012 T20 World Cup to be played in Sri Lanka. The West Indies won their second and final warm-up match today ahead of the official start of the tournament tomorrow. The Afghans batted first, and despite getting an impressive 53 from 50 deliveries from Asghar Staniskai, they were only able to post a paltry 122 for 7 from their 20 overs. Among the bowlers for the Windies, Fidel Edwards and Sunil Narine did the most of the damage with the ball, as they had figures of 3 for 24 for Edwards and 2 for 23 for off-spinner Narine. Well, in reply, Lendl Simmons and Johnson Charles both were out cheaply, but that target of 122 was not too much of a challenge for the brute force of Chris Gayle, who ended not out on 65 from 48 balls as the West Indies reached 125 for 2 in 15 overs and 5 balls to record an 8-wicket win, comfortable in the end. The first game for the Windies in the tournament is on Saturday against Australia. Meanwhile, in another warm-up game today, Pakistan staged a late surge to beat India. Batting first, the Indians posted a healthy total of 185 for 3, with Virat Kohli scoring 75 and Rohit Sharma 56. In reply, Pakistan were floundering at one point, 91 for 5 in the 12th over. But that's when Kamran Akmal, and Shoaib Malik combined to rescue them from a near impossible situation. Pakistan had earlier lost Shahid Afridi for a duck, but both men stayed together for a valuable partnership of 95. Akmal sweeping for the maximum. And here, last ball of the 19th over, and Malik down on one knee, long off the destination. Now, they needed 6 to win in the final over. First ball, Akmal ended it with a full toss, which he sent over the ropes. Game over, Pakistan 186 for 5 to win by 5 wickets with 5 balls to spare. It's always exciting when Pakistan plays, indeed. Well, away from cricket now, the 82nd running of the Trinidad Derby will take place on Republic Day, the Republic Day holiday, next week, Monday. In its current incarnation, it's the CNG Trinidad Derby. A field of 12 horses will contest for the $500,000 purse and the chance at writing their names into the rich history of this event. Jassim Marique has more.
Such legendary names as Bruce on the Loose, Mucho Tempo, Groomsman, and the list goes on have stamped their names on this event. Bears and Bulls, last year's winner, will be absent, offering a chance for a new winner to emerge. And according to president of the Arima Race Club, Hugh Leaking, he expects no dip in the tradition, excitement, and reverie of this race.
On September 24th, Republic Day, I extend an invitation to all to Santa Rosa Park for the 82nd running of the CNG Trinidad Derby. Santa Rosa Park has lots more to offer patrons on the race day 34 than just exceptional racing and family fun.
The National Gas Company handed over a check of $350,000 and will sponsor the day's 2 features. NGC's Deputy Chairman Roop Chand Chedi Singh expressed pleasure at being able to renew that partnership.
When we put a hand in a panyard, a cultural event, or a school, or a community center, or any sporting event, be it cricket, basketball, or horse racing, we act as a catalyst which can transform the project or sport.
This is how they run in the 2 features: the Big Squeeze from Gate 10, Big Thing from Gate 2, and Direct to Dream from 3, just some of the names to watch. And in the 9-horse field for the Diamond Stakes, Bruce on the Loose from Gate 7 renewing a rivalry with Boogie Blues in Gate 8 in a race which also promises to be difficult to call. I am Jassim Marique reporting for CNC3 Sports.
The 2012 edition of the Carib Great Race has been described as possibly the best ever in the 44-year history of the event. On the weekend, the 2012 top achievers were rewarded and recognized for their accomplishments, and we were on hand once more. Jassim Marique with this report.
It was an awards night to match the race itself, highly entertaining and proceeding at a brisk pace. Vice President of the Power Boats Association, Garth Marshall, stating his pleasure at the evolution of the Carib Great Race.
We are running boats that are on the highest level of offshore power boat racing anywhere in the world. And in this case, nearly all the classes fit into that category.
Another happy camper was Carib Bear's Global Brands Director, Douglas Henderson. He spoke of the company's 12-year sponsorship and how both parties have benefited mutually, so much so that this sponsorship has been extended for a further 3 years.
And as the saying goes, what's extraordinary today becomes ordinary tomorrow. I give you Carib's commitment to ensure that this event remains extraordinary tomorrow.
But the boat owners, drivers and crew couldn't wait to get to the meat of the matters, the awards. One of the first was that for the boat reaching closest to Tobago without actually being able to finish. Hero 3 topped that category. There was also a prize for the first locally built machine to Tobago. It went to the Tarde family and White Heat. The main award, though, was the fastest boat to the sister isle, and that went to Fire 1, which was also the first boat overall.
Without all those people that came up on the stage here, we would not have even made the start. So I'd like to thank each and every one of the crew for putting in the effort that we put in this year. Next year it's going to be twice as hard, but the victory will be twice as sweet.
The all-female crew of Candyman was second to Tobago in the 60-mile-per-hour category. Predator 3 won that class, while White Heat was the first in the 70-mile-per-hour category. Mr. Solo 2 was first in the 130 miles-per-hour category. I am Jassy Marique, reporting for CNC3 Sports.
London Olympian Jacine Phillip and Pan American gold medalist Quincy Alexander are two of the local big names who will be competing at the upcoming Newsday Cycling Classic, which comes off on Republic Day at the King George V Park. This according to race director Michael Phillips. The day's activities will have all of the regular categories for cyclists in the age groups from 12 and under to veterans 60 and over. In this year's event, the organizers have added an innovation in keeping with the gold medal achievement of national javelin athlete Keyshawn Walcott.
Competition, and not for registered athletes with the entries, but for anybody to come and throw a javelin and see what it's like to throw a javelin, feel the weight of it and so on. The entry has been gracious enough to commit a couple of coaches.
Today, 2 bicycle frames were presented to Quincy Alexander, who was absent, but his mother, Anne-Marie Alexander, received them on her son's behalf. Today's fun run event will, for the first time, be electronically timed, and participants are asked to register early to avoid any problems.
Off registration for this race at 2 o'clock. If you arrive at 1 minute after 2, you will not be allowed to register. So we'll be there from 12 o'clock until 2 o'clock to accommodate same-day registration.
So it's cycling and a road running race as well. Speaking of road running, 88-year-old Charlie Spooner will be the oldest runner on the starting line in this year's UE Spec International Half Marathon on October 28th. Charlie Spooner ran his first full marathon at the age of 75 and has covered the course 11 times, thereafter switching to the UE Half Marathon. Asta Rand spoke with the granddad of road running recently.
Charles Spooner, who prefers to be called Charlie, was a focus of attention at the launch of the 2012 edition of the UE Spec International Half Marathon. Charlie says he owes his longevity in the sport to God Almighty and is strict on the usual diet.
I live mainly on raw food, nothing cooked. Okay. So by living on raw foods, I've been able to get the kind of energy. And I'm my own coach, I am my own nutritionist, I'm my own therapist. I do everything for myself.
Charlie also spoke about his training routine.
Right now I'm training from 4 o'clock in the morning or sometimes 4:45, 3:30. And I would run the savannah sometimes once, twice, 3 times and run back up. And I don't train, and I do physical exercises at home every day.
Charlie, who is a widower with 2 children and 5 grandchildren, wants to encourage persons of his age and younger to get involved in road running.
I want to stimulate the minds of other people. I'm interested in human beings like myself. If I can do it, others can do it.
I am Astrid reporting for CNC3 Sports.
Once again, that half marathon is on the 28th. Well, we head now to our sports eye, which is from that cricket match today between India and Pakistan.
CNC3 Sport High is brought to you by Icy Hot.
India in the field, the sliding save by Gautam Gambhir, the throw a bit weak, but MS Dhoni, without looking at the stumps, threw the ball and ran out Mohammad Hafiz. Let's look at it again. Great work first by Gambhir to make the save, and even better from Dhoni to effect the run out. And it's the CNC3 Sports High.
CNC3 Sport High was brought to you by Icy Hot.
Yes, indeed, good work there. Well, let's answer now our trivia question, which is cricket related. And the question was, which team won the ICC T20 World Cup back in 2010 when it was actually staged here in the Caribbean? And the answer is A, England. Their first and so far only major cricket title. That's it for sport. Charlene, it's back to you.
But before you go, I have one quick question. This T20 tournament's becoming more popular. It seems to be sort of replacing Test cricket. Is that true?
Well, it's not going to replace it, but it's growing in popularity, and what you're going to see, and has happened already, is that less and less Test matches are going to be played.
Right.
But I'm sure they'll keep Test matches.
Yeah, for tradition's sake, because they seem to be more exciting, these T20.
Of course, yes.
Yeah,
you see an entire game is complete in 3 hours, and there's a lot of action because of the shorter version.
Thank you very much. Now sport is finished. Thanks so much. All right, let me give you an update on the Your Vote at this time. The question that you're voting on tonight is, should government explain why there was no consultation with the legal fraternity on the proclamation of Section 34 of the Administration of Justice Act? Well, from your responses so far, 75% of you have voted in yes, the government should explain, while 25% of you have so far voted in no. Well, remember, you still have a chance to get your vote in before the end of tonight's newscast, and we do encourage you to take part in all your vote. So be sure to stay with us as we go along in tonight's newscast. We'll tell you that 4,000 divorces are granted by local courts in 1 year, but the figures continue to rise. Well, we're going to explain why there are these staggering statistics. It's all just ahead on the CNC3 News tonight. Stay with us.